Hello again, my darlings. We are on parabolas today, and it's a 2-day thing. Today's day 1, where we're just going to be graphing them, and we're going to be reviewing the vertex form of the parabola, which we did when we were doing all of our different transformations. So we're going to look at 2 types of parabolas. They can either open up or they can open down, and it is controlled by the A. If your A is positive, it's going to open up. If your A is negative, it's going to open down. If it opens up, it has a minimum value, that's the vertex. If it opens down, it has a maximum value, which is the vertex. Either way, the equation is y equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k, where h and k are the vertex of the parabola. Parabolas are symmetric, so they have this axis of symmetry that goes through them, and it goes through the vertex, so the axis of symmetry is the vertical line x equals h. And intercepts, well, x-intercepts would be when y equals 0. So if you plug in 0 for y and solve for x, and a lot of times you will have 2 x-intercepts, and they are always of the form some number comma 0. Y-intercepts, you plug in 0 for x. So they're always of the form 0 comma y, and there can only be one y-intercept, even though there can be 2 x-intercepts. All right, so we are going to graph y equals negative 4x squared by finding the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the x and y intercepts. So since there's no h and k added, our vertex is 0, 0. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 0. And we can already see 0, 0, so that would be our x and y intercepts, but I'm going to do the work anyways just to really stress how to find them. So for the x-intercept, you set it equal to 0 and solve for x. For the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for x and then solve for y, and you can see they both are the same, 0, 0. Okay, so I draw my axis of symmetry. I put my vertex at 0, 0. Since I don't have any other x-intercepts to go off of, I decided to plug in the number 1 for x. And if I plug 1 in for x, I get negative 4 times 1 squared, which is negative 4. Parabolas are symmetric, so if I have that point on the right side, I have that same point on the left side, and then we can draw the parabola in. All right, so B. Here's our h is 1, and our k is negative 8, so that's our vertex at 1, negative 8. The h controls the axis of symmetry, so our axis of symmetry is x equals 1. To find the x-intercepts, I plug in 0 for y and solve for x, so I add 8 and divide by 2 and get 4. Take the square root, x minus 1 equals plus or minus 2. Add 1 to both sides, and x equals 3 or negative 1. So we have 3, 0 and negative 1, 0. For the y-intercept, I plug in 0 for x and then simplify. So this is 2 times 1. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 6. And I just put all this onto my graph. So there's my axis of symmetry, my vertex.